Look around you. In all this endless freezing blackness, humanity has spent decades desperately searching for another Earth. We look to distant galaxies, we send rovers to the freezing deserts of Mars, hoping to find a frozen microbe, a drop of water, a whisper of life. But what if I told you that we already have a twin? A planet with almost the exact same size, the exact same gravity, and the exact same core as Earth. It's not light years away, it is right next door. Look straight ahead, find the brightest star in the darkness. For thousands of years, our ancestors looked up at the dawn sky and called it the morning star, a beacon of beauty. But that light is a lie. What you're looking at is not a star, it is a planetary graveyard. It is a world that rejected every visitor, crushed every machine we ever sent, and locked its secrets behind an impenetrable vault. Welcome to Venus. We are now in high orbit. Notice how smooth it is, how perfectly uniform. From up here, it looks peaceful, but that is not a planetary surface you're looking at. You're looking at the roof of a cage. Let's go down. We have just breached the upper atmosphere. Look up. Space is gone. Look down. There is nothing but thick, toxic haze. You're currently falling through a hurricane that never stops. The winds here are whipping around the planet at nearly 400 kilometers per hour. If you tried to look through this with a normal camera, you would see exactly what we are seeing now. Nothing. The clouds around you are not made of water vapor. They are made of carbon dioxide laced with highly concentrated droplets of sulfuric acid. It is essentially a planet-wide blanket of battery acid. As we sink deeper, the atmosphere is getting heavier, much heavier. The pressure is building against our virtual hull. On Earth, at sea level, you feel 1 atmosphere of pressure. Right now, we are crossing 50. Now, 70. When the Soviet Union sent their Venera probes here in the 1970s and 80s, many of them didn't even make it this far. They were crushed like tin cans mid-air. To survive down here, a spacecraft needs to be built like a deep-sea submarine. We are now experiencing 90 times the pressure of Earth. It is the equivalent of standing 3,000 feet at the bottom of the ocean. The winds are dying down, the clouds are parting. Brace yourself, we are about to see the true face of our sister world. Touchdown in 3, 2, 1. Look around you. You're standing on the surface of Venus. There's no sand here, no smooth rolling dunes. Look at the ground beneath your feet. These cracked, jagged slabs of basalt stretch out for thousands of miles. They look like shattered ceramic tiles. That is because the ambient temperature of the air around you right now is 465 degrees Celsius, 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt lead, hot enough to incinerate organic matter in seconds. This is the view that the Soviet Venera 9 and Venera 13 landers saw before their circuits melted and their lenses cracked. They survived down here for barely an hour, but in that hour, they proved that this world is not a smooth marble. It is a violent, fractured wasteland shaped by immense pressure and blistering heat. For decades, scientists believed this surface was frozen in time, a dead world that died billions of years ago, a cautionary tale of a runaway greenhouse effect. But if you know how to look, this planet has been hiding a terrifying secret. We are going to take flight. Look to the horizon directly in front of you. Because thick clouds block our vision, scientists on Earth had to use radar to map this terrain. Spacecraft like NASA's Magellan bounced radio waves through the acid rain to build a 3D model of this exact landscape. And what they found was a world covered in massive shield volcanoes. You're looking at Mount Mons, one of the tallest volcanoes on Venus, towering 8 kilometers into the toxic sky. We used to think it was a silent monument, but in 2023, researchers reanalyzed old radar scans and found something impossible. Look down into the caldera. Between two separate radar scans taken months apart, the shape of the volcanic vent had changed. The walls had collapsed. Fresh lava had flooded the floor. Do you realize what that means? Venus is not dead. It is alive. Deep beneath this cracked crust, the core is still hot. The mantle is still churning. This planet is still breathing fire, venting heat, and quietly reshaping its surface in the absolute dark. Okay, let's leave the atmosphere. Venus is a warning. It is a world that might have once had oceans, blue skies, and maybe even life, before something went horribly wrong. Before the atmosphere thickened, the ocean boiled, and it became the ultimate death trap. Look behind you. That tiny blue dot in the distance is Earth. Two identical planets, side by side in the solar system. One became a paradise, the other became hell. And as new missions prepare to return to Venus in the coming decades, we are left with one haunting question. How long until Earth shares the exact same fate?